Have you ever stopped to think, what does it really take to journey to Mars? Imagine leaving the familiarity of Earth, venturing into the vast, uncharted territory of space, and setting foot on the red planet. What kind of preparation is required for such an endeavor? Who will be the brave souls embarking on this journey? And once they arrive, what needs to be built to sustain life? These are the questions that fuel our curiosity. Let's delve into this fascinating journey, starting from the very beginning, the preparation. Preparing for a trip to Mars isn't like packing for a weekend getaway. It's a process that begins years in advance and requires an incredible amount of preparation. The first step? Astronaut selection. NASA and other space agencies worldwide search for the best of the best. A small group of about 6 to 8 astronauts will likely make this historic journey. These individuals must possess a unique blend of skills, including technical expertise, physical prowess, and mental resilience. With the crew selected, training begins. This is no ordinary boot camp. Astronauts undergo rigorous physical training to prepare their bodies for the harsh conditions of space travel. They must maintain peak physical fitness to combat the effects of weightlessness, which can lead to muscle atrophy and bone density loss. But it's not all about physical strength. Mental fortitude is equally important. Astronauts participate in high-stress simulations to prepare them for the potential problems they may encounter. These exercises help them build resilience, improve decision-making under pressure, and foster team cohesion. After all, they'll be spending about 7 months together in a confined space, hurtling through the cosmos at staggering speeds. And let's not forget about the technical training. Astronauts must be well-versed in a wide array of disciplines, from biology to engineering. They'll need to operate and maintain all the spacecraft systems, conduct scientific experiments, and troubleshoot any issues that might arise. And then there's the matter of survival training. Mars is a hostile environment, and astronauts must be prepared for every eventuality. This includes learning how to build habitats, repair equipment, and even grow food. So, as you can see, preparing for a trip to Mars is a monumental task. It's a test of human endurance, ingenuity, and the will to explore the unknown. But with the right training and preparation, we can turn the dream of reaching Mars into a reality. Once our astronauts are ready, it's time to consider the journey itself. A trip to Mars is not a short jaunt. We're talking about a journey of millions of miles. Imagine embarking on a voyage so vast, it makes the distance between Earth and our moon seem like a mere hop across a puddle. To put it into perspective, the average distance from Earth to Mars is about 140 million miles. This isn't a weekend getaway, it's a journey that will take several months. In fact, depending on the planet's alignment, the journey could take anywhere from 6 to 9 months. This is a road trip of cosmic proportions. The challenges of space travel are numerous and varied. There's the physical strain on the body due to prolonged exposure to microgravity, which can lead to muscle atrophy and bone density loss. Then, there's the psychological aspect. Imagine being confined in a spacecraft for months on end, with only a handful of people for company and the black void of space as your view. It's a test of mental fortitude as much as it is a physical one. Living and working on the spacecraft will require a delicate balance of routine and flexibility. The astronauts will follow a strict schedule with time set aside for work, exercise, meals, and leisure. Exercise is crucial to counteract the effects of living in microgravity. Meals will be carefully planned out to ensure the astronauts receive the necessary nutrients. Leisure time, too, is important, providing a much-needed break from the rigors of space travel. Work will encompass a range of tasks from maintenance of the spacecraft to conducting scientific experiments. The spacecraft will essentially be a floating laboratory, allowing the astronauts to perform research that couldn't be done on Earth. They will also be in regular communication with Mission Control, reporting their status and receiving updates. Now, you might be wondering, who will be undertaking this epic voyage? Typically, a Mars mission would involve a crew of about 4 to 6 astronauts. This small team will have to be multi-skilled, able to handle anything from repairing equipment to conducting scientific research. They will be the very definition of a tight-knit team, relying on each other for their very survival. The journey to Mars is a monumental undertaking, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. It's a voyage into the unknown, a leap into a new frontier. The astronauts who undertake this journey will not only be explorers, but pioneers, forging a path for future generations. After months of travel, finally Mars looms ahead, but what happens upon arrival? The next phase of the journey begins, a phase that will require yet more resilience, more ingenuity, and more courage. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's marvel at the journey itself, a voyage of millions of miles undertaken by a handful of brave souls in the name of exploration and discovery. Arriving on Mars is just the beginning. The real challenge starts now. Imagine this. After months of traveling through the vast expanse of space, our astronauts finally see the red planet up close. Their spacecraft begins its descent, cutting through the thin Martian atmosphere. The heat shield glows, the parachutes deploy, and finally, the landing thrusters fire. With bated breath, Mission Control waits for the signal. Then, it arrives. They've touched down. The first humans on Mars. But this is no time for celebration. Now, the real work begins. The astronauts must establish a base, a home away from home amidst an alien landscape. This is no small task. Mars is a harsh and unforgiving world. Its thin atmosphere offers little protection from solar radiation. Its soil, or regolith, is barren and devoid of life. And let's not forget the extreme temperatures, which can drop to -80 degrees Celsius at night. To survive, our astronauts will need a habitat. Not just any habitat, but one that is self-sustaining and can support human life for extended periods. These habitats will be prefabricated and sent to Mars ahead of the crew. They'll be powered by nuclear or solar energy, and will have systems in place to recycle air and waste, and even produce food. Speaking of food, let's talk about sustenance on Mars. It's not like our astronauts can pop over to the nearest grocery store when they run out of snacks. All food will have to be brought from Earth or grown on Mars. The latter is a fascinating prospect. Scientists are exploring the idea of using hydroponics and other forms of indoor farming to grow crops on Mars. Imagine fresh Martian-grown lettuce in your space salad. Water too is a critical requirement. Mars is a desert planet, but it's not completely dry. There's water in the polar ice caps, and possibly underground as well. Our astronauts will need to extract this water, purify it, and recycle it as much as possible. Every drop will count. And then, there's oxygen. Mars's atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide, with only trace amounts of oxygen. Our astronauts will need a reliable way to produce oxygen, not just for breathing, but also for rocket fuel for their return journey. This is a massive challenge, but one that NASA's MOXIE experiment on the Perseverance rover is currently exploring. Living on Mars will be a constant battle against the elements. The astronauts will need to continuously monitor and maintain their life support systems, grow their food, manage their water supply, and conduct scientific research. They'll need to be more than just astronauts. They'll need to be pioneers, farmers, engineers, and scientists all rolled into one. But let's not forget, this is more than just survival. It's about making Mars a second home for humanity. It's about learning to live off the land and becoming a multi-planetary species. It's about exploring new frontiers, pushing the boundaries of human potential, and inspiring future generations to reach for the stars. So yes, arriving on Mars is just the beginning. The establishment of a base, the struggles of living on an alien world, the need for oxygen, water, and food, these are all part of the grand adventure that awaits our astronauts. It's a daunting task, fraught with challenges and uncertainties. But if there's one thing we've learned from our journey through space, it's that humanity thrives on challenges. We innovate, we adapt, we overcome, and in the process we push the boundaries of what's possible. Living on Mars will be challenging, but it's a challenge humanity is ready to face. Breathing on Mars? Now that's a task. Our bodies require oxygen to survive, and the Martian atmosphere isn't exactly brimming with it. In fact, it's almost entirely carbon dioxide, with only trace amounts of oxygen. So how do astronauts get the oxygen they need to breathe while on Mars? The answer lies in the technology that can produce oxygen from Mars' carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere. NASA's Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, or MOXIE, is a pioneering example of this. About the size of a car battery, MOXIE works by separating oxygen atoms from carbon dioxide molecules, which can then be used for breathing or even fuel production. But that's not the only way we're looking to generate oxygen on Mars. There's also ongoing research into using Martian resources, specifically water, to create oxygen. Mars soil, or regolith, contains a significant amount of water. By heating the regolith, we can extract the water, which can then be split into hydrogen and oxygen through a process called electrolysis. And what about storing this oxygen? Well, we can't just let it float away. Oxygen can be stored in high-pressure tanks or even chemically bound in compounds for later use. The question of oxygen on Mars also extends to growing plants. Plants, as we know, breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. This concept of using plants to recycle carbon dioxide into breathable oxygen is known as bioregenerative life support. The idea is promising, but there's still a lot of research to be done to make it a reality on Mars. So there's no shortage of innovative ideas for getting oxygen on Mars. But it's important to remember that these are not just scientific experiments. They are the stepping stones to a future where humans can live and work on Mars. Breathing on Mars may be tricky, but it's not impossible. So what does the future hold for Mars exploration? The future of Mars exploration is as vast and expansive as the cosmos itself. It's a narrative that's still being written, with each new chapter promising more thrilling discoveries and advancements. Let's start with the plans on the drawing board. As we speak, space agencies worldwide are drafting ambitious blueprints for missions to the Red Planet. These range from robotic explorers to manned missions, each designed to peel back another layer of the Martian mystery. These missions aim to gather more data, understand the planet's geology, and search for signs of life, past or present. In the not-so-distant future, we may even witness the first human footsteps on Martian soil. This monumental event would not only be a triumph for space exploration but also a pivotal moment for humanity. It would signify our ability to reach beyond our home planet and venture into the unknown. And what about scientific discoveries? Mars, a planet that has fascinated humans for centuries, is a treasure trove of scientific opportunities. From its mysterious dry riverbeds to its towering volcanoes, Mars may hold the answers to some of our most pressing questions about the universe. How did Mars evolve? Could it have supported life? And most intriguingly, could it support life in the future? That brings us to the most exciting prospect of all: Mars as a second home for humanity. Imagine a time when we have established sustainable habitats on Mars, complete with life-supporting systems. Imagine communities thriving, with scientists, engineers, and pioneers contributing to a new chapter in human history. It sounds like science fiction, but it's a possibility that scientists and space agencies are seriously considering. Turning Mars into a second Earth, however, is no small feat. It would require terraforming, a process that involves modifying the planet's environment to make it Earth-like. It's a concept straight out of a science fiction novel, but as we've seen time and again, today's fiction often becomes tomorrow's fact. In the end, the future of Mars exploration is a testament to our innate human curiosity. It's about pushing the boundaries of what we know, challenging the limits of what we can achieve, and daring to dream of a future beyond our blue planet. The journey to Mars isn't just about reaching a new frontier in space, it's about the journey we take as a species, as we learn more about ourselves and our place in the cosmos. It's about the potential for new scientific discoveries, the promise of technological advancements, and the thrill of exploration. The journey to Mars is a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. So, there we have it, the journey to Mars from preparation to settlement. We've traversed the myriad facets of this epic endeavor, from the rigorous astronaut training, the probable crew size, to the lengthy voyage. We've delved into the construction of a new home upon arrival, and the critical oxygen requirements. Each aspect is a testament to the complexity and significance of this mission. The journey to Mars is more than just a trip, it's a milestone in human history.